Hey, Ellie. You're just having a good time. Everyone's having a good time at the party. Eravan, you're helping Eravan and Luna with the... You guys have come back at this... Wait, you guys haven't come back yet. You, observe that there's a newcomer. You come over and say hi, and there's just something kind of weird about Room. You can't put your finger on it, but for some reason, like, you can't stop looking at it.
Yeah, so what I'll do is like, hey, Rune, are you okay? Is it because Lionel is too hot?
And Rune just kind of blinks at you and he says, well, you know what they say. You have a glow about you and you're in love. And then he gives Lionel a little kiss. You just kind of have treated like, well, I mean, he is handsome. Like, Rune's a handsome person in his own way. It's just kind of like a different perspective. He actually looks a lot like Gerald. Like, I didn't intend for that, but like, he basically looks like Gerald.
Listen, I have
Nice.
You say Gerald.
He's a hot guy. Like,
Witcher, white-haired guy from Witcher.
Gerald. Yeah.
A hard G sound for Gerald.
Sorry, I haven't played any of those games, but I was like, Rune, yeah, cool. And I'm like, looks just like this guy.
The only name I really remember is Roach because it's horse. And I'm like, Hans! Hans! My friend Roach! Hans!
And yeah, Rune comes over and talks to you, Luna, and says, hey, it's nice to meet you.
Oh, you came back?
Oh, yeah, you come back at this point. Sorry. You're
Okay.
back. You see everyone. What do you do?
I'll meet Rune.
Yeah.
Like, officially.
Mm-hmm.
Where can I get to, like, a point where, like, no one's really paying attention to me?
You can sit next to Kiara, who's starting to play, who's putting up her socks and trying to play the flute with Order and Column.
I mean, you can also, like, Eravan's like, let's set up the fire, and you can probably just, like, if you're gonna, like, use someone to, I mean, yeah, like, are you trying to, like, hide what you're doing, or are you trying to,
Kind of.
yeah, you can go and, like, physically hide yourself behind, like, a bush, or you can conceal
Like,
yourself.
that would look suspicious, though.
Yeah, or you can conceal yourself in, like, an activity.
Yeah. Okay, I'll conceal myself in an activity.
Okay, yeah, so, yes.
Can Keyanthi help set up the fire? Because I think she's probably looking for something to do.
Yeah. So you see Eravan coming back, and he looks as white as a sheet. He's just like, he kind of just robotically puts the wood down and just kind of like, you see him kind of just like shake himself out.
Okay. Yeah, so Keyanthi would not want to bring up how bad he looks, because that seems a little rude to her. But she's definitely gonna go up there and like, hey, Eravan, would you need some help setting up the fire? Because she's like, maybe it was really hard to find wood. That's a little things that are bad.
Maybe he found a centipede.
Maybe he did.
I mean, the emotional strain on this poor boy. He pauses and just looks at you, and then like, there's just this long pause. He's yeah, please help.
Oh, of course. And then Keyanthi go ahead. I imagine she has some sense of how to build a fire. We've been traveling for a while.
Yeah, you know how to just TP it. And,
yeah. Are you alright? You seem a little stressed out.
he just, like, you see him look at you, and he's,
Keyanthi staring at him with her big old eyes. Like,
yeah, big eyes. You like stare into this poor boy's soul, and he's just like
Alien eyes.
I'm just processing a lot, and we saw something really weird in the woods. Or, well, we didn't see anything, we had a weird experience in the woods. Yeah. It was weird. Luna and I, we, have you ever, like, felt like something was there, but didn't see it?
At one time I fought a demon. I didn't like it, but it was hard to understand.
And he just looks even more panicked. He's like, it's just like,
It's a lot of things about this poor baby.
You know what? Why don't we focus on this? Take your mind off of everything? Question mark.
I'll be okay here.
Poor things I strung.
And Luna, you were gonna go with Eravan, but you're caught up in like just the niceties of meeting Rune. And how much? So he anyway. Well, how much does she like? We'll just argue this. He's just like, oh hey, I've heard a lot about you.
Huh. I've heard a lot about you too. Well, not as much. I haven't had a chance to really be running here and talk about you, but I'm sure he would talk about you a lot. If I know Lionel.
Yeah, well, he's mentioned a couple of stories, and he kind of like mentions like a certain wedding. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyway, small talk and like he can read a room. Like he can tell you don't really want to talk to him. He's like, okay.
I'm gonna go like run over for a walk and act like that was why.
Okay, and he's like, very well.
Good meeting you.
Glock's over there. He's setting up shop. He's just really like very systematically pulling out and like laying out the system. And he looks at the dummy and he's just like, I don't think it's ugly enough.
As it should be.
It looks exactly what our names do.
Yeah,
This
Luna's
is
just
really
gonna go
good.
like pet Coo and act like she's kind of looking over his shoulder. And this is a new trick for her, so she's going to be kind of, I don't think she really needs to, it doesn't say she needs to be doing anything like physical or talking or anything, but she probably is kind of like mumbling a prayer to herself.
Yeah.
To use divine sense.
Okay. Divine sense.
Like, at this point, it's like she's not sure anything's really close by, but she just kind of wants to practice it now that she's remembering, oh, I'm a paladin.
Oh, okay. You will open your awareness to detect any forces such as celestial fiend or undead within 60 feet that is not behind total cover. And you also, okay, so you extend your mind out. And who aligns with good out of the party?
I do.
Oh, like all of us at this point?
I was gonna say I thought it was neutral, but I am good. It's written on my sheet. I am kinda good.
Okay, okay, yeah. So you get like a little kind of like heavenly sort of like tinkle from all your friends. And I know. And everything seems normal until you focus on Rune, who gives off an undead vibe. It's, he just doesn't give off an evil vibe. It's, it doesn't say, like, you don't get any sort of sound off them.
I was gonna say I thought it was neutral, but I am good. It's written on my sheet. I am kinda good.
Yeah, good. Okay, yeah. So you get like a undead presence is like sort of like tinkle from all your friends. I know. And everything seems normal until you when you do like,
Cold or smells bad?
Cool. Who doesn't smell bad? Undead. Cool.
Okay.
It's you do recall when you shook his hand. He had just he's basically fully covered. and
Okay.
and leathers,
Say,
and
like, you don't
when
get
you shook his
any
hand,
sort
he
of
touched
sound
his
off
gloves.
that you can like that's a neutral.
Yeah, and at the time it didn't really phase her much because Glock does that too.
The
but
yeah,
undead presence
now she
is,
knows different reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, and then everyone else, you do
When you do
Cold or smell
for
bad?
like the briefest of seconds.
cold. It doesn't smell bad.
You get
Okay.
You
actually
do
no, never
recall
mind.
when
You
you
don't get
shook his
anything
hand.
to that. Never mind.
He had
And
just
that's
he's
it.
basically
Uh oh,
full.
something else.
And
The room
Okay.
seems to be empty.
When
Okay.
you shook his hand,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
you can sense other spirits
Yeah,
around
and at the
you
time it
with
didn't really
this.
phase her much
Ellie's,
because
like little spirit
Glock
friends
does
are
that
good.
too. But
You can sense
now
your
she knows different reasons.
ancestors like watching you basically.
yeah,
Like,
and then everyone else. You
Kind of a
do,
passive presence, like, oh, they're there.
Yeah.
Hello.
For like the briefest of seconds,
Okay, yeah, that's it.
you get.
Okay. Good to know.
Actually, no, never mind. You don't get anything for that. Never mind.
And then
That's it.
Uh oh, something else. The room seems to be empty.
Snacks are
Okay.
being passed out. Everyone's having a good time.
Yeah.
The fire is going.
You sense other spirits around
Ellie
you
is
with
dancing.
this.
The
Ellie's
dogs are having a good
your
time.
friends are good. You can sense
Column
your
and
ancestors watching.
Column and
you,
Orator are just
basically.
having a good time.
Kind of a passive presence, like, oh,
and-
I
they're
have joined
Yeah.
them.
Yeah,
Hello.
like everyone who has any sort of musical instrument pulls it out and starts to play.
there. Okay.
Rolf
Good
is
to
back to his
know.
normal bad dancing. Lionel and Rune are dancing, and then Lionel says, I think the lock says,
Everyone, like, snacks are being passed out. Everyone's having a good time. The
Thank you.
fire is going.
Yeah, Ellie is dancing.
Ellie is dancing. The dogs are having a good
Dancing
time.
lights.
Lionel, come put this in water.
Column and
And Lionel just says,
Column and Orator are just
but I just got
having
out.
a good time.
I have joined them.
Yeah, like everyone
And
who
then,
has any sort of
what
musical
happens
instrument
is that
pulls
Rolf
it out
actually
and starts
just
to
volunteers
play.
to go swim out into the water, and
Rolf
then they're
is
like,
back to his normal
can't see the
bad
dark.
dancing.
oh yeah.
Lionel and Ruth dancing, like, and then Lionel says,
And
I think the
so
locks
then they
says-
basically shame Lionel into going into the water and like positioning the dummy out on some rocks in the
Then-
middle of the lake.
Does the one tell should he like a babysitter? Because I will either volunteer
Rhino
Keyanthi or
says-
I'll say I could use some practice for swimming.
what I just got out.
Nothing to do with the ab.
Nah,
And
but it's
then,
also might be to do
what
with the fact that
happens
she sees
is that
better at
Rolf
night too.
actually just volunteers
Yeah,
to go swim
and
out into
Lionel's
the
like,
water, and then
let's
they're
go
like,
together. And
you
so
can't see
we
the
go
dark.
together and
Alright,
oh
fires here will dry quickly. Faster
Yeah.
this way.
yeah.
yeah.
So you swim
And
out
so
there
then
and
they basically shame
together easily
Lionel into
affix
going into the water
the
and
dummy on a
positioning
display scarecrow
the
onto the
dummy
rocks
out on
there,
some
and you
rocks
see
in the
better
middle of
than
the
him, so
lake.
you're like, oh, just move it over to the left,
Does
and then
the one tell
discuss some,
would
like,
he like a
sand in there and
babysitter?
stand
Because I
up.
will either volunteer Keyanthi or I'll
There's
say
a
I could use
point
some
where I just sort of
practice
push
for
his
swimming.
hand away. It's like, I'll that. And then she just.
Nothing to do
And
with
so
the
as
ab.
she's probably fixing it, she does ask him a Nah, question.
But it's also
So where'd you and your
might be to
boyfriend
do
meet?
with the fact that she sees better at night too.
Oh, he came
Yeah,
in town.
and Lionel's like, oh
Actually.
yeah, man, let's go
Him
together.
and
So we go
from
together and
himself looking for work.
Fires here will dry quickly.
Before that,
Faster
he
this
was
way.
doing mercenary work.
so
I think.
you swim out there and you together easily affix
basically just
the
said
dummy on
try
a
and work,
display
and we
scarecrow
said
onto like the rocks there,
well,
and you see
basically, you
better
come
than
here,
him, so you're like, oh, just
you
move
go
it
to
over
the
to the
guild
left.
halls,
It's got
which is
some,
like
sand
basically
there.
like have a hunter's
Stands up.
guild, and that's what.
Okay.
There's a point where I just sort of
and
push
most
his
of the
hand away.
hunters
It's like
are
I'll
employed
move
by
that, and then she just.
King William.
And so as she's probably
foresters
fixing it, she
to,
does
like,
ask him a
protect
question.
forest,
So where'd you and your
and,
boyfriend meet?
hunters to provide
Oh, he
food
came in
for
town, actually. Came in
Town?
from the south
Mhm.
for work.
And just general like management of the city is kind of like done through the Hunters Guild. Like if there is,
He
they're also like
basically
akin to
just
like a
said,
militia
"I
slash
need work,"
police
and we
force
said,
and like
well,
job.
when you
so,
come
like,
here,
he
you go to
basically
the
just
guild
went to them
halls,
and said, "I
which
need
is
work," and they're
they
like,
basically
"Yeah, I
like
watch," and he's like, "Okay."
and that's what.
And then his
And most of the
Rune's,
hunters
like,
are
skill
employed
level
by
was high enough that they
as
just kept him on,
foresters,
and he
like
kind of like
forest,
settled in the
and,
area.
Hunters
It's like a
to
temp
provide,
agency. I see.
So you met at the guild or you met on watch? On the job?
She sort of has this like little look. It's like all scandal. Because for her, love on the job is a little bit scandalous. So she's like,
akin to like a malicious
It's like, well,
police force and like job. So like
Lionel doesn't have to
basically
work.
just went to
He's
them
a
and
rich
said,
family.
"I work," and they're like, "We need a night watch," and he's like, "Okay."
Well, what happened was
And then his
I was
Brings,
mad
like,
because
skill
Luna
level
left.
was
And I was
high
just
enough that they just
trying to clear
kept
my
him
head
on,
walking around,
and he kind of like settled
and I
into
was
It's like a temp
kind of embarrassingly
agency. I
venting out into the
see.
forest. out
So you
loud,
met at the
and
guild, or you met
Luna
on
was
watch,
there and
on the
heard
job?
everything.
She sort of has this like little look. It's like all
So then you
scandal. Because for her,
That's
love on the
amazing.
job is a
But
little
then
bit
he,
scandalous. So she's like,
said some things to me.
It's like, well, like, why no one doesn't
basically,
have to work? He comes from a rich family.
to not make a judgment
Well,
on
what
what
happened
she's doing without
was
knowing
I
what.
was mad because Luna left,
And
and I was just trying to clear my head.
I don't know, he
walking
kind of
around.
got through to me, and so
And
we
I
started
was-
talking here and there, and
Kind of embarrassing, like
I,
venting out into the forest.
started
out loud,
seeing him more.
ruined his
And I
hair
might
and
have seen him
everything.
on. In
So then he.
we might have seen him a little secretly at first,
That was embarrassing. And but then he
and might have
said
seen
some
him while
things
he
to
was
me,
working.
like
Might have distracted him at work a little
basically
bit.
well, you seem
It's
very
not-
adept at distracting people.
make a judgment.
Seems to be a
on
talent
what
you
she's
have.
doing about
And she just does this little thing because at this point she feels it's a little bit of a contest. She like winks at him. Get that started again.
He's like, oh, so you noticed. Yeah, I haven't.
Hard not to.
started to see more.
Anyway, he just kind of like does this little bow.
Might have seen him get a little secretly at
He's
first.
like, so, how'd you meet Luna?
And might have seen him while he was working.
Oh. She's like, oh,
You distracted him at work. a
oh,
little
I
bit.
tried wading across a creek. I got attacked by an
Well, you seem
alligator,
very adept at
and then Ellie led me
distracting
to them in the
people. Seems to
group
be a
after they
talent
found
you
me.
And she
on
just does
the
this little
edge
thing
of
because at this
death,
point she
actually.
feels it's a little bit of a contest. She like winks at him. Get that started again.
Met in
He's like, oh, so you
Marinelle,
noticed.
the outskirts
Hard
of
not to.
Marinelle,
He's like,
or Toro.
Toro.
anyway, he just kind
Toro.
of like does
Okay.
a little bow.
Met on the outskirts of Toro. I was on my way out, and we were heading the same direction, and we just happened to be continuing the same direction ever
How'd
since.
you meet Luna?
Although now I'm somewhat directionless, but we won't focus on
She's like,
that. Also, that's
Oh, I
loose.
tried
and she
wading
just sort of
across
like
the creek. I
reaches
got
to fix
attacked
what
by
he
an
did.
alligator, and then Ellie led me
Yeah,
to
it
them in the
seems like
group after they'd
nodding
found
and fixing my
me
face.
on
It's like,
the edge of death, actually. So,
well, you know, it's okay to not always have a
Good thing you found him.
met in
goal. Know what you're doing.
Marinelle,
It's just like,
on the outskirts of
I know what I want. I
Marinelle.
just
Or
don't
Toro.
know where to start.
Toro.
But
Okay.
at the very
Met on the
least,
outskirts of Toro.
anyway, this thing's not
I was
gonna
on my
blow
way
itself
out,
up.
and
at the
we've been
very
in the
least,
same direction.
have
We
a
just
name,
happened to
and I might have a
continue in the
direction,
same
so.
direction ever since. Although now I'm somewhat directionless, but we won't focus on that. Also, that's loose, and she just sort of like reaches to fix what he did.
There's this one back
Yeah,
to shore.
she was, like,
As she's
nodding
wringing out her hair again, she looks over him. She's like, "Oh, take advantage of that leadership, of that
It's okay to not always have a...
of that spirit of leadership that you have about you." She sort of like punches him in the chest, and she's like,
kind of like,
"You'd probably make a real steadfast leader
I
if
don't
you
know where to
didn't get as
start,
distracted
but
and
at the
weren't
very
as
least-
delighted in distracting others."
So, but at the very least, I have a name,
Yeah.
and I might have a direction, so.
I
you
don't really
think,
know what I'm
he's
doing.
like, you think I
She's
can
like,
leave?
anyway, this thing's not gonna blow itself up. Let's go.
No one's ever said that to me before.
Go back to shore.
Brings this one back to shore, and as she's wringing out her hair again, she looks over him. She's like, "Oh, take advantage of that
Yeah,
leadership."
she sort of like
that,
does this thing. It looks intimidating, where
that
she
spirit
like
of leadership.
you have good leadership qualities. You can command the attention of a room, and you know what you want to say when you want to say it, and for the most part, tends to make sense when your emotions aren't as involved. But some leaders are really good with their emotions, especially when it comes from a place of caring. And your sister trusts you, so. Also, it might be expected of you at some point, so don't dither about that, and don't let that get to your head.
Yeah, you see him like kind of like square up, like, you're a leader. Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. And the lock calls over. He's like, "Are you done? Can we get this started?" And then he kind of like waves the arrows around. So everyone roll a D100.
D100. That's the percentile in D10 or just the percentile?
Yes.
Percentile in D10.
Where are the D10s go? Oh, no, yeah.
Here we go.
79.
Okay.
You don't know what I'm rolling for. Do we add anything?
Nope, just roll 79.
Whoa.
So,
Okay.
and remember your number.
Okay, I'll leave it right there. I won't touch it.
Cool.
I won't touch it.
So 79. Kiara, you go to you go to the arrow quivers, and then you pull up this arrow that has like this really just like wicked looking spearhead to it, and Glock explains to you that you picked an arrow of ricochet, and it considers full cover to be half cover.
That's cool.
Oh, that sounds like fun.
Yeah. Next, nothing. Kristen, what number you get? 5? Okay,
You got
that's
a
fine.
5?
It doesn't matter. It's just on a list.
So you got a 0, 0, and you got a 5.
You got the rose.
Well, I rolled a digital D100.
You got
Exactly 5.
the rose thorn arrow. So you pull out this like pink arrow, and it has on hit it does 1d4 piercing from thorns, and the target must make a DC 15 dex or be ensnared. So that's cool.
Ooh, nice.
And Galak explains all of this to you, and like he's pretty excited about like explaining what these arrows do. Next up is Ellie.
So, DM wise, I also rolled a 5. I got a 0, 0, and a 5. So, I mean, I can roll again if you want, but
They both grab the arrow at the same time, and Ellie just released it. It's like, I'll grab the next one.
Yeah,
It's tight.
yeah, just roll again. I just knew that would happen.
yeah, I was surprised that would happen.
They saw pink and got excited.
Complete opposite.
The odds.
98.
Oh, cool.
Oh. The odds on 2 5s was actually pretty rad, though. Awesome, you guys.
Yeah. If this was divine intervention, if some
Okay, so like you pull out an arrow that essentially is attached to a rocket.
Yes!
Wait, is this an arrow?
And he's like, "Oh yeah, that's when I pull an arrow. It can pull 300 pounds of weight that's tied to the arrow for 1,000 feet."
You can propel yourself at the dummy, and you can punch it in the face
I
personally.
can propel myself and someone else.
Okay, Luna, what'd you get?
I got a 51.
The navigator shot. Upon firing upwards, the arrow travels 80 feet upwards before going 50 feet to find where the archer is currently seeking. Okay, it's like a secret arrow. Yeah. And I rolled for the Eravan pulls out 20. He pulls the crescent moon arrow, which causes it has that nice like silvery shaft with white feathers, and at the front it has this like crescent moon shaped arrow tip. It causes slashing damage, and it hooks itself into the flesh, so it would just continue to do like bleed damage basically.
Nice.
Let's see, Colin pulled 3, so he pulled an acid arrow.
Yeah!
Lucius is 49, and let's see, so he pulled a gossip arrow. Archer discovers a mundane secret about the target. And
Oh my god.
30 feet in radius by an ethereal voice.
XOXO gossip
Oh my
arrow.
god, that's
Why does that feel like it suits him
I know,
now?
right?
KR actually like whips her head back and laughs. Ugly laughs.
Orator pulls out a boxing glove arrow. He's like, I like this one.
Good old Oreo.
Sounding shiny like your head.
Oreo.
Okay, and then Rolf pulled out one that kind of has this blue spectral quality to it, and he pulled the arrows of Ray. Great. Ethereal arrow tips don't hurt most creatures, but devastating ghosts and other spirits. And so, like, Rolf's like, oh, this one looks cool, and like, he's a ranger, so he just pulls it and fires it, and then it just like goes straight through it, the dummy. And he's like, what happened?
What'd you give me?
Give me, this is a ripoff! And he's just like, and then and
I want a reroll!
Gloc's just like, yeah, he's just not Glock. I think Lion will be like, you missed, bro, and he'll it's like, no, I did, I'm a better shot than you. He's like, oh yeah, and he's gonna pull out his arrow. And we'll see, he pulled out a flare arrow. So Rhino pulls back this
Flaro.
Pulls back this arrow and it erupts into this flare kind of projectile. And then it kind of like breaks into like, let's see. It breaks into two different arrows and then they kind of go and impact into the dummy. And you can see that it starts to ignite the dummy off in the distance. And they start to cheer. So, who's firing first?
I'll go first because I'm the special girlfriend, and I also just want to say, like, what the heck does this do?
Yeah.
You could have been working
for me. That's ridiculous.
Do you fire yourself, or are you having someone else fire it?
I'll fire myself.
Okay, yeah, they have those. I'm sure they have like a billion of those. What was your number again?
51.
Alright, so you pull, okay. So, you pull back, and your shoulder that twinges as you just pull back, and it doesn't like being under this strain. And you release the arrow, and it looks like it's just gonna go wide. But the arrow actually just like goes through this white arc across the lake, and you can see its bright glow just slash through the night sky as it turns and then impacts into the Odo dummy with this like blast of yellow magic. It's a spectral display. You're like, oh.
Ooh.
Nice.
That was me. Ow. But
Next up. So next.
Wait, so my arrow can move anything like 300 pounds?
Yeah, I can, yeah.
maybe you should go last, like you can like swim over there with it on your turn, and then like take the dummy into the sky.
Oh, that's a great idea!
It's an idea.
Yeah.
Don't start swimming now. Like, don't swim out until everyone's done firing.
Oh, okay.
Great idea. Stay. She just discreetly plants Ellie next to Keyanthi in between Keyanthi and Kiara. So it's like,
Still.
yes.
In between mom and dad.
Yeah. Team mom, team dad.
And then, let me see if, who's going next? After Ellie. We have this.
I can go.
Okay, yeah, so Keyanthi.
Yeah, I'm gonna go last.
Oh yeah, I was going last. Keyanthi, do you fire yourself, or are you giving it to someone?
You're doing it yourself.
I might as well do it myself.
Okay, good, yeah. Alright, so you fire. You got 5, yeah.
I got the number 5, the rose one.
So you pull back the the arrow and let it fly. You're aiming for a dummy, and I'm not gonna make you roll. So this pink arrow streaks through the air, and you can see just these kind of like spectral roses trailing behind it, and then it strikes the dummy, and from the impact these white thorns come and just coil around the dummy in this cage. And we see some like, ooh, that was cool. And people start clapping.
That'd be useful.
Nice.
Next up we see like Column comes over, and he kind of like he's just like, you see him like he's like working with the bow, and it takes him like a couple of tries to like remember how to do this, and then he shoots his arrow. He's like, oh yeah. And he shoots an acid arrow, which just, you guys have actually seen that type of arrow before, and it impacts, and you can see it just impact of purple, and it kind of corrodes down the dummy. Then
Yeah.
Kiara.
Yeah, she pats Column on the back. She's like, oh, good. A little rusty there, huh?
He's just like, well, I've had other pursuits, so he kind of like holds up his arrow.
And she's like, oh, fair enough. And I have arrow 79. And then she kind of like just sort of like to Lucia, she's just like, oh, I'm wondering what secrets this dummy could possibly have, though. So she fires.
She's kind of like turning it in his hand. He's like, you don't have the moment not to move. So like you release the arrow, and it goes across the water, and it just, watching it is fascinating because it has like twice the amount of force behind it as it should. It's just blasts through, and you see the water just kind of like flaying apart as it whizzes by. Boom! And it just strikes down, and you see it impacts into the dummy and then like knocks it off into the water, and you're like, whoa.
Maybe I should have gone last.
And then you see Column just like, nicely done. And Lucius just kind of like just slaps on the back. Yeah, that's my girl.
So what secret does it have?
Okay, so Lucius, we're gonna have to learn the secret in a minute. I probably have to go fix it.
Yeah, you go and like, it takes a few minutes to fix it again. You have to like reaffix the head back onto it, and you come back out. And
She puts it on straight, but then just because she wants to, she's like smick, so it like goes backwards. Smick. And then she comes back to shore. Learn its secrets!
Okay, I wish I had a secret for a stick. So Lucius just well, here's
It's just something about the wood or the craftsmanship or something funny that happened during the making.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Unless it's meta enough to know a secret of Odo's. Just a meta arrow.
I feel like there could be like a
Or secret of Galox that he was thinking about when he was working on it.
Oh, interesting.
It's just a sequel hair of the lock that's like on
Okay, this is like my... So the arrow flies, it strikes true. And, Lucius just kind of waits and says... says a dead person touched me. It's just like... It's just like, what? That's weird. It's a weird thing to do a secret to Fresh. He's just like, maybe it has a different... And then Glock's just like, well, I've never had a hit in an inanimate object.
Huh. She's saying, huh.
And then Lionel's
Not sure what I expected.
Let's just fire the next one. So then, okay. So he kind of like coughs, and then Brune's just like, I got this, and he pulls out this arrow, and this bright light erupts from the arrow, and it just catches the night sky and impacts the dummy in this bright spectral display. And it's a lot like some cheering, and finally it comes to Ellie after the other boys launch their arrows, and some shenanigans and cheering begin, and
yeah, so I guess I just like tie a rope. Hi Sherlock. I guess I just
He's saying hi. He wants me to.
I guess I take a rope and I tie it around the rocket arrow, and then I tie that rope to the dummy, and I like swim out and I like put it up. And I'm like, how does this work? So can I just shoot it up and it'll move the dummy?
and
Make a wish!
Oh, okay. And so I
Screams to the shoreline.
So I close my eyes, I pull back, and then I just let go.
so like Glock goes around with you, and he says unit, and he just kind of like puts a bunch of arrows with like, it looks like little like pom-poms at the end of it, into the dummy, and then says, alright, now launch it. And so you fire into the air, and like basically you fire the arrow, the rocket begins, and then it soars into the air, and you see the dummy kind of like wiggle free as it goes into the body of one of the moons, and you see it begin its free fall, and then the like rocket fire hits the dummy, and then it starts to fizzle, and then suddenly it just goes. It's this giant thing explosion just erupts from the air, and you can feel it impact you as it ripples the water and lights the sky with orange and red, and everyone's just like, yeah!
Yeah, some people cheered out.
They're banging drums, screaming flutes, hooting.
Yeah, hooting and hollering, you guys have a merry time. And,
If Lionel had a shirt, he'd rip it off again.
yeah. The bonfire gets bigger, there's dancing and singing, and at one point, Lucius comes up to Luna and he says, you gave me this a while back, and I translated it last, and he hands you like the journal from the demons that we got like 1,000,000 years ago.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
I've been busy.
He's like, sorry, it took a long time. I had to decode it and translate it through like 2 languages. It's just like,
Yeah, it's a lot.
oh yeah.
You find anything good?
Well, basically, it says that there are groups of demons and devils collaborating, which is unusual for them. They tend to not do that. They keep to themselves, especially on Borgovar. It's almost unheard of. So they're banded together for whatever reason to come here. As a demon hunter, I know a little bit that
Here meaning this plane or Verkus?
this plane.
Okay.
They're planning to try to basically do mass transport here get away from Borgavor. Which would spell trouble. So it's a good thing I thwarted them. Though I don't think this will be the last I'll hear of them. Because they have more than one faction going around. I'll tell you, it's real difficult to. Sorry, Tiffany just has a lot of junk in her throat right now. Let me just get my water because I'm coughing and stuff.
Okay.
So they want to come across in mass transit. Don't know exactly why. I just know that there's something that I know there's a problem in Borgavor. Don't know exactly what it is. Demons and devils aren't exactly forthright about their own thing. But they disagree on how to handle it, so it's even more odd that there's a group collaborating, but could mean that they're just that desperate to get across. But I'll definitely keep my nose to the ground for this. I mean, it's definitely in my alley. However, that's
It's a good idea.
That's what you found. So.
Okay, good to know. Yeah, I'll make a mental note to tell the others later.
Yeah.
When we're not partying. I might forget.
Yeah.
Do I forget? I do not forget.
Yeah.
Right.
I will remember.
Yeah. Party.
Yeah. So like
Party,
party, Lionel, like chest bumps everyone you can, and the party winds down. People are putting things away, and then Gillock is just kind of quietly assembling things, putting them away.
Luna goes to hang out with him.
Yeah.
Kind of like hug him and be like, you've been busy lately.
Well, I have to think of a lot of new designs. He just like, and something you like about him is that he is really just like precise and concise about what he does. So like everything is just neatly like tucked away into like their own little spot. And he just carefully like rolls them up in their. The way I see it is, he actually has like, like a roll. Kind of like it for like putting pencils in, except it's like a quiver that he can like unroll and re-roll, and they each have like their own little slot. And he says, "Well, do you want to go on a ride? Show me."
Sure.
It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Yeah. It'd be nice to spend some time together. Easy. Keep hold your hand, get old, please, and. So.
Hello, this is Tiffany, your GM for Dungeon Damsels. We update on Wednesdays and Saturdays now at 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We have merchandise on our Redbubble and on links via the Linktree. We also have coffee and a Patreon if you wish to donate to us. Please like, subscribe, and comment as we would love to hear from you. You can also find us on basically every podcast platform out there if you can't sit down and listen to a YouTube video. And if you're wondering why we don't stream, it's because my internet can't support it. But regardless, thank you for listening and watching. And remember to be kind, inclusive, and loving.